This weekend I'll be working on a retreat looking at the devotion, the love for Our Lady of Guadalupe and Ignatian spirituality. And today the first talk that I'm going to give is one that I'd like to share with you a little bit. And it has to do with St. Ignatius' view of consolation and the great consolation that we derive from Our Lady of Guadalupe. So St. Ignatius tells us that consolation is whatever moves us to love God more. He gives some really profound examples, maybe tears because of our sinfulness, or tears because of what Jesus has suffered. Maybe it's something that moves us towards a greater faith, hope, or charity in our lives. And so there are many different ways that consolation can show up in our lives. And so when I take this teaching of St. Ignatius and I apply it to Our Lady of Guadalupe, I'm recalling how many different celebrations of Our Lady of Guadalupe I've been privileged to partake in. And the result of my experience is that I look on the feast day of Our Lady of Guadalupe as a feast day of tremendous joy and happiness as people come to the churches. And not so much I'm asking for things, although that has been something that they probably have been doing during the year, but to celebrate and to show the deepest sort of love for the Virgin Mary. And in doing that, they express a tremendous joy that they derive from being able to celebrate and to bring something, flowers or prayers or songs to the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe that they're venerating at that time. And so the consolation that I see in there is not so much just the happiness, although that's certainly there, but that happiness links them to God through Our Lady of Guadalupe, because they know that she is the mother of Jesus. They know that she is the Queen of Heaven. They know that she is so close to God the Father, and therefore draws them into this tremendous love for God. And that's what consolation does. And because it's covered over with this tremendous joy, it becomes a consolation that really is something that allows us to celebrate. And so I think this retreat is going to be the happiest retreat I've ever given, because we will be immersed in this love for Our Lady of Guadalupe that brings great joy to the people who will be attending this retreat, and to myself. And so what I would, the lesson from St. Ignatius I would ask you to derive is that perhaps you can find in your life those things that draw you closer to God, those consolations, and focus on those that are accompanied by a tremendous sense of happiness, And that might be the consolation of thinking about your family or your friends, thinking about special blessings and graces that you live each and every day, and immerse yourself in those consolations and allow the joy of the Father who loves you, the joy of Jesus, the joy of the Holy Spirit to penetrate your life as you focus on how the Lord has blessed you and not only just consoled you, but lifted you closer and closer to Himself through graces and gifts that too often we don't focus enough attention upon. And so may you have a day filled with consolation, filled with joy, filled with the presence of God. And that's the wisdom of St. Ignatius for today.